Hello. Welcome to the District Builder Getting Started tutorial. If this is your very first time, this video will help you from beginning to end make your very first map. The map you produce isn't going to be a prize winner, but it will get you familiar with the tools and get you ready to make a more subtle map that could win that prize. So first off, we highly recommend that if you're not familiar with the ins and outs of legislative redistricting and its evil cousin gerrymandering, you go back right now to Draw the Lines, pa.org, and read our gerrymandering section. Or on the intro page, you can just click Gerrymandering 101, and it'll take you right back there. Once you get familiar with the major concepts and terms, come on back, watch the video, and we'll step you through a tutorial that is guaranteed to end with you're making the very first map. So now I'm assuming you've done all that, and we'll start at the very beginning, which is a really great place to start, or so we've heard. If you don't have an account, which you don't if this is the very first time, you're going to click Sign Up. This part you probably could have done on your own, but let's go ahead and do it together now just to be safe. So you're going to pick a username, and enter it here. You're going to select a password. A couple of words about passwords. You shouldn't be reusing your password. It doesn't have to be a bunch of gobbledygook. Best practice now is to just have a lot of characters, like 10 characters of random words that might just pop into your head. So I'll even tell you what my password is going to be. It won't show up. It's French Pie 71 Puppy. So you get the idea. I just jotted it down somewhere, and I'll destroy that as soon as I enter it because I've memorized it. Or I'll save it in a password keeper if you have one of those. So it's capital F, French, and then PIE. This won't work, by the way. I don't know why you'd want to get in here, but we'll be deleting this later. So 71, PU, uppercase, PPY, upper and lowercase, a number, random words. Let's see if I can retype that. Nice and long, a couple of numbers, upper and lowercase. Yeah, there is no way you're going to have a hint to help you with that. Here you'll type your email address, of course. And your name is optional. We'd love to know it, but it's up to you. You can check our terms of use policies. We try to be above board, and we don't share. Yes, I've read them. Now I'm going to have to scroll down a little bit and click Sign Up. Wow, it's just that easy. Now I click Start Mapping. You'll see I'm logged in. I'm going to log out. This is this. And log back in again. Guess I'm not going to do that. Okay. So what you find in your very first screen are the choices you're going to need to make for your first map. Just follow along. We'll explain all the whys in context as we go along. We're going to start with a blank map. So click blank, and now go over here and give it a name. When you click Start Drawing, you'll get to here. There's a lot on this screen. I'll be showing you what you need to know as we do tasks. So, first thing, you need to know this is a map of Pennsylvania. Delineated by the green lines here are all the counties. For our first map, we're going to deal mainly with counties, and we're going to place those into legislative districts. Not too hard, right? That's why we're starting at the very beginning. The other element of this page that you need to know right now is what this means. Here's your map name, and you're going to see target population 705. Each district that you end up coming up with should have about 705,688, or somewhere plus or minus, say, 50,000. It's a lot easier when you make a district to get it close to that population than to come back later and try to make it conform to the population guidelines. You won't be able to submit a map that is way outside of these norms. And you can see the total population down here. So the total population divided by 18, which is the number of districts, comes out to about 706,000, give or take. So we are already ready to start our first district. To do that, we go over here to this ribbon of tools, and we're going to click single select for to start our very first district. Now, how do we decide what's going to be District 1? It really doesn't matter the numbers that we assign to the districts. That won't figure into how the district is finally judged. And it also doesn't need to conform to the current numbers of the district, so don't worry about any of that when we start. You may be asking yourself, why are some of these white, gray, or darker gray? Well, they're actually in a gradient from super light to super dark. That represents the population of each county. So, first we're going to click single select here, and then we're going to just click one county. You'll notice when I clicked it, it told me the name. There are ways to find out the names before you click it, but for right now, we're just going to click this, and we're going to use the simplest way possible to add it to a district. How do I do that? I go over here, and in this menu that now says select one, that's actually the district number menu. Pull it down. I'm going to say new district. This is District 1. If I click this, you'll see I have pre-populated all of the district numbers. So, I will select District 1. Boom. Aha! Surrounded by this black line here, you will see the first district that was created. Now, let's look over to this side of the screen. You'll notice I have a district, and it tells me the population of that district. It also has a couple of important guidelines about building a successful district and therefore a successful map. One thing is you want it to be contiguous. In other words, you don't want part of the district to be here and the other part to be over here. They need to be touching. All the edges need to touch. And compactness. That just means that it's in a logical sort of geometric shape that doesn't have lots of jutting out and sticking around and looking weird. But this number now says, for District 1, 285,66. You'll remember we need 705,688 approximately. So that's not enough. We're going to need to add some more counties to District 1. Let's do that. We're going to add this. Now you may be saying, can I see, as I do it, what I'm adding to that? In other words, how much population is here? That's not easy to see right now, so we're going to just take a kind of trial and error method, and we're going to try to come up with a district that totals 705,688. There are a number of different ways that we can add more than one district. We know we have to do that because the darkest district only gave us 280,000, and we need a lot more than that. So when you start, I recommend that you use a standard way of selecting multiple things that you may already be familiar with from just using your computer. And that is, you'll push down on the Shift key, you'll select this one item, and while holding the Shift key, you're going to select another item. And you'll notice that both items now are selected. As long as I hold down my Shift key, I can select as many areas as I want. There's some other tools for doing this. We'll go over that later. They require a little more hand-eye coordination. So we're going to start with the simplest, which is just holding down that Shift key, clicking multiple counties. Now I've got this whole area of the state now all clicked. It would be nice if we could say, how much am I about to add in real time? That's not possible, but it's not such a big deal. Now, using the exact same method we used before, I'm going to add it to District 1. But now when I pull down this menu, you'll see District 1 is already there. So let's just add that. All this big section that I did here to District 1. Boom. Please wait. And I've got a new District 1. Whoa! Now it looks like we went way over. We've got 1.7 million people in this district. So what are we going to do? We're going to unassign some districts. And we're going to use that same multiple select method we used before when we do that. Just for this time, there are other ways to do it. So I'm going to select some dark counties, which means high population, from down here. First, click the select menu, hold the Shift key, select, 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 select. Now, if I go into this menu, you'll see I can unassign them. If I click Unassign, these will return to the category of unassigned. And now District 1 is shrunk here. It's also shrunk over here. We're getting closer to that 705 now. I'm just going to select one more and unassign that one now. Where are we? Oops. See, it told me there was nothing to update. So instead, I'm going to, that's because this wasn't in District 1. I selected it. We'll do that again, and I clicked Unassign, and it said no districts were updated. The reason is I was trying to unassign it, but it wasn't assigned yet. I made a mistake. Instead, I'm going to click this one. I still got single select selected. And I'm going to unassign this one, which definitely is in the black line, is in District 1. Go up here, unassign. Boom, it's unassigned. Ooh, we're getting there. Let's see if we take more than one out. So I'm going to look inside the black line. I'm going to click, Shift click. Now I'm going to unassign those two. How'd we do? Oh, that's close enough. We're going to call 727,000. close enough to 705,000 for now. And we're going to start working on our second district. Now, when we do that, it's important that you don't click on counties that are within District 1. If you do that, it will take them out of District 1 and assign them to the next district we're going to do, which is District 2. So, just be aware of that as you start clicking around. I'm going to now move this map a little bit. I can't move this. I'm not even going to tell you what this is for a few minutes. Don't mess with this until we get to a point where we need the features that this represents. What I am going to do is move the map around. We call that pan, the pan function. Now you have to click this. It's not like Google Maps. You can't just go here, click, and move. We have to click the pan first. Then we can go here. And when we get our hand, well, we're not going to get a hand. We get this moving icon. We can move the map just a little bit down. And now all of this is out of the way from under here. We could have done a couple of other things like zoom in or zoom out, but let's just do it that way, the simplest way to start. Okay. Now it's time to make District 2. I'm going to use that same technique this time. I'm going to hold down my Shift key. First I have to switch to single select. Now I'm going to hold down my Shift key and I'm going to shift, click this one and this one. They're medium gray. Sometimes there's a little lag. You'll see I clicked there twice, and that's just your computer talking to the server. And then I'm going to click this pretty dark one, these two light ones, and this nice dark one. Maybe that will be about what we're going for. So I'm going to assign this in the same way. Go up to the menu that says Select 1, New District, District 2. Hey, we did a lot better this time. Now, just to see, if I go here now, you'll see we have District 1 and District 2. It as already existing. If I want to get rid of that, I'm just going to click anywhere else. Being careful not to activate any different buttons. I want to stay on single select. As long as we're doing the click, the shifting, and clicking. I'm close enough. Maybe I'll just add one more. So I'm just going to click this one. It doesn't matter if you shift click it or click it. You can do that, either one, when you're selecting one item. Then I'm going to go up here again. And just drop that into District 2. If you're doing this along with me, that should be pretty easy to do for you now. Look at this. District 2 went over. So that's not going to work. Whatever I added, most likely if I'm going to need to take that out and pick a different county. Things start to get a little bit complicated now. I don't really remember which one of these two I added, but I'm going to remove the one I'm pointing at here. So I'll click it. Now how do I unassign it? Select, unassigned. So now that pops back out. We're down to 619 again. So we're trying to keep everything continuous and compact. I'm going to try selecting this one and adding it. It's a little bit lighter. Let's see if that works. It's kind of fun. And I'm going to assign that to District 2. When you're in here assigning this way, I'll show you another way to do it in a minute, but make sure that you assign it to the right district, because it will assign to districts that are far away, on the other side of the state or whatever. And that's going to give you, you won't keep that nice green check mark next to contiguous over here. You want contiguous. So we're adding this to District 2, the one that's yellow down here. So I'm clicking District 2. How'd we do? We're getting close. let's try adding this one. It's going to create this little notch in here, which is not going to be popular with the in the compactness score. But we're just learning. I'm going to put this in District 2. How close do we come? Good enough. So now District 2 has a population of 739. Let's make District 3. As I said, it doesn't matter too much what the numbers are, but I'm just going to go back over here to create my District 3. I need to see the map a little differently. So remember what we're going to do is click Pan, and now move the map. I'm going to be working in this area, so I moved the map so I could see this area. Now I'm going to show you a new way to select multiple counties at one time. We're going to use the polygon select tool. Now you're not trying to trace the lines with the polygon. Let me just show you. So if I hold my mouse down here and move this way, anything that that area that's being defined there touches will be defined and ready to add. So now I'm going to let up. Notice where the little polygon is, and then when I let up, everything that polygon was touching in this area is now defined. It's a very quick way to add multiple counties or whatever section you might be adding. We'll get into other things that you can add. It's faster than shift-click, but you're more likely to accidentally hit something. So if I had accidentally with the polygon hit one of these districts, then I'd suck them out of District 1 and put them in the district I'm working on. So it's just up to you when you want to use which method. Both have their strengths. These are all defined. We're ready to create District 3. So remember, you go up here, New District, District 3. Click OK. Let's see how we did. Loading statistics. Whoa, we're getting pretty good at this. So that one just happened to hit right in the guidelines we want, a little bit over. They're all a little bit over, but it is contiguous, and it's 32% compact, which is fine for our very first. This is really just our training map, right? Let's do District 4. We're going to stay with the polygon select tool. We're not going to go over rectangle select. Our recommendation is that you either use single select and hold down the shift key to get multiple districts, multiple counties, or the polygon. So let's try the polygon and try to put District 4 in this area. So polygon, and now click. I'm going to drag over here, and then I'm going to drag down and just see how much of these I can get. Pretty good. Okay, let's say I got one that I didn't like. I want to remove it. We can shift click, and just that one district will go away. So I'm going to hold down on the shift. I'm going to click here. And nothing happened. So I'll click here. Oh, and it all deselects. So let's go back to polygon select. We can't unselect one at a time. And I'll edit that out. So here we are with the polygon select tool. I'm going to hold down here. I'm going to grab over here. And then I'm going to pull down to right here so that everything that line touched and that polygon touched is now lit up yellow, which means it's defined. And I can go into Select, New District, District 4. Here we go. And how do we do? District 4. And as I do this, you'll notice the colors are changing to help me delineate the individual districts. Okay, we're a little bit under. And now for me, I want to add just these two, and I think the easiest way for me to do that, I'm going to click the single select again, push down the Shift key. I just want to add these two counties right here. So click, holding down the Shift and click. Now I can add that to District 4. Okay, we're close. At this point, we're going to introduce a new way to add counties to districts that's a little bit less cumbersome than the one we have been using. We won't use the pull-down map, but we can actually move the county that's not in a district into a district that we want. It's going to work basically the way you'd think. Click it, and then drag it in. Okay, so that didn't work. Click anywhere, we're going to unselect that. We're going to try to unselect that. I'm trying to click various places to get it unselected. Okay, finally did. What we have to do in order to select it and move it that way is we have to select, click, and drag. So in this ribbon, let's select, click, and drag. So single select is still selected, and click and drag is selected. That's what's going to make this work. You can't just click on it and move it. And the dragging works a little bit differently from the way you might be accustomed. What you need to do is once you have single select and click and drag selected, you will find the county or section that you want to add to another place and click on it. And so you press and let go. It gets highlighted. Now you hold down and drag. And that did not work. Okay, now it's ready to go. I don't understand the difference. We'll edit that out. Let's try that again. Okay. Now what we're going to do is show you a new way that you can add counties to districts by moving them with the mouse instead of using this pull-down menu. And to do that, we want to make sure that we have, for the first test, we have single selects clicked, and then we have click and drag selected. Okay? And we're going to add just one county because we're fairly close to the number that we want, 705. Click and drag works differently than what you are used to from the way your computer naturally works. The first thing you do is click and let go, then it gets highlighted. Then you have to move the cursor until you see the move sign, and then move it in. Okay. Now you see the black line for District 4 has that county in it. But we went way over. This is too far above the normal amount. So we're going to use that same technique to take it out of District 4. So we added this. We're going to click it. It'll highlight. Now if I drag it, I have to wait and get the move symbol. And now if I drag it to an area that doesn't have districts, it will unassign. Okay, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Click it. Click it. Sometimes you have to do it twice. And drag it over here to an unassigned area. Let go. That did not work. We'll click it. And now we'll use our menu. Unassigned. I don't know why that didn't work. Okay, we're going to have to stop.